This matter is before the United States District Court for the Middle District of Florida, Tampa Division. This is the matter of the estate of Kyle Thomas Brennan by and through its administrator, Victoria L. Britton, as plaintiff versus Church of Scientology Flag Service Organization, Inc., Denise Miscavige Gentile, Gerald Gentile, and Thomas Brennan as defendants. This is the deposition of Denise Gentile. It is Friday, July 23rd, 2010. It is 9:05 in the morning. At this time, I'll ask the attorneys to please introduce themselves.
Representing the plaintiff, Victoria Britton, as the personal representative of the estate of Kyle Brennan.
Represent the Church of Scientology Flag Service Organization.
And lastly, half of Tom Brennan.
Also present is Sarah Heller, corporate representative for the Church of Scientology Flag Service Organization, Inc. And Ray Emmons, assisting the plaintiff's counsel.
And would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give in this trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your full name.
Denise Gentile.
Have you ever taken a deposition before in a court of law?
No.
Okay. So today is your first deposition?
Yes.
When I ask a question, if you don't understand the question, if I'm vague, you're allowed to tell me to rephrase the question. And will you do that?
Yes.
Okay. Since we're on video, we're also transcribing it. For the benefit of the court reporter, do not answer a question by the shaking of a head or but verbalize it. And if I go like this, that means to talk. Say yes or no. Will you agree to do that?
Yes.
And don't get. What is your birth name? Your maiden name?
Miscavige.
What is your birth name? Your maiden name?
Miscavige.
And when did you first become a member of the Church of Scientology?
In 1972.
What org?
There was a mission called the Cherry Hill Mission in New Jersey.
What was your name at the time you became a member?
Denise Miscavige.
You're currently a member of the Church of Scientology?
I am.
How far up the bridge have you gone? If that's the right way to say that. I don't know.
Objection to form. I don't know if this is invasion of a religious beliefs or not, but I'll object.
I'm not attempting to do that at all. How far up on the bridge have you gone?
Well, I've trained through Class 4 Auditor, and I've completed OT6.
When did you complete OT6?
10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Was that at Flag?
It was.
Are you on lines at Flag?
Yes.
When did you start OT7?
Well, I started it in 1992, but I'm not currently on OT7 right now. A thing called Golden Age of Tech that had come out, so I did it once and then I redid it again, I guess I should say.
Okay. In 2000, if you started in 1992 and your daughter's 10 years old,
I started in 1992. And then I audited on OT7 for a number of years, and then I became pregnant. And when I became, just prior to me becoming pregnant, I stopped auditing on OT7, and since then I've done training and other processing being received, but I haven't audited since 1998.
Have you completed OT7?
I have not.
Okay. Why did you call Victoria Britton on February the 12th, 2007, and recommend that she send her 20-year-old son, Kyle Brennan, to Narconon.
Objection to form.
I did not call Victoria. Tom called Victoria.
Did you talk to Victoria Britton?
I did.
And did you recommend that her son, Kyle Brennan, go to Narconon?
I suggested that because he had been on the road and not seen or heard from for 4 months, that he might need some help, and that Narconon might be able to help him. It was a very peaceful environment. Yes, I did suggest that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the absolutely worst thing in the world, to a Scientologist, where is psychiatry ranked?
Objection to the form.
You know, the only thing I can give you is my personal opinion.
You don't know what the position of the Church of Scientology is?
I do know the position of the Church of Scientology, but
What is it?
it is that any science that would send electricity through a body in a form of helping someone mentally or give them drugs which cause them to see hallucinations is not a science at all.
Does the Church of Scientology call for the global obliteration of psychiatry?
Objection to form.
I don't know that.
Are you a member of IAS?
I am.
What does that stand for?
International Association of Scientologists.
Do you receive its Impact magazine?
I do.
Do you recall the cover or the story in one issue talking about the obliteration of psychiatry?
Not exactly.
Did you have any discussion with Thomas Brennan about taking the Lexapro medication away from Kyle Brennan?
Absolutely not.
Did Tom Brennan ever tell you why he locked up the Lexapro in the trunk of his car?
Objection to form.
Objection to form.
No predicate form.
Did he ever tell you that?
No.
Did you ever learn that the Lexapro was locked up in the trunk of the Thomas Brennan's BMW?
I did after the fact.
After what fact?
After the fact of reading the police report.
Not before the death of Kyle Brennan?
No.
You never suggested to him to simply take away the Lexapro from Kyle Brennan?
No.
Do you know if anyone else suggested to Thomas Brennan to take the Lexapro away?
No.
And you talked to Denise Gentile about your son's psychiatric medication because she was your friend?
Yeah.
You didn't think your son taking psychiatric medication was a very private matter for him? Objection form.
No.
Tell me how you met Thomas Brennan.
I volunteered to sell books at a mall, and he also was volunteering at the time. And I was either relieving him or we were working the same shift.
What year was that?
2005.
What mall?
I think it was Brandon.
Were you living in Clearwater at the time?
I was.
Okay. If you,
Same place.
why would you go all the way to Brandon to sell books?
I'm a dedicated Scientologist and I want to get the word out.
Did you?
I'm a dedicated Scientologist and I want to get the word out.
Did you give Thomas Brennan the phone number for Narconon?
No,
Did you call Narconon?
I did.
All right. And who did you speak with at Narconon?
A girl named Karen.
That's it?
It was Hadley. It might be different now. I knew Karen from, she also makes jewelry, and I bought some jewelry from her the year before, and she told me she was going to work out there, and that's why I specifically called her.
Okay. Was it on the same day that you spoke to Victoria?
I don't remember. I would assume it was.
Okay. All right. What's your understanding of what Narconon is?
Narconon is a place that helps people that are addicted to street drugs, helps them to come off of the street drugs in a pleasant environment, stress-free, and
Does it use Scientology tech?
it does.
Did you have any knowledge that Kyle Brennan was on street drugs?
I did not.
But you knew he was on Lexapro.
No, I did not know that.
Okay.
My understanding was that he wasn't on anything, and because he had been away, and because I thought he might need some help.
Did you talk to anyone about Kyle's medication after you learned about it on the computer at the library?
Yes.
Who did you talk to?
I talked to Denise Gentile about it.
And why would you talk to her about it?
But you knew he was on Lexapro.
No, I did not know that.
Did you talk to anyone about Kyle's medication after you learned about it on the computer at the library?
Yes.
Who did you talk to?
I talked to Denise Gentile about it.
And why would you talk to her about it?
What did Tom Brennan tell you that caused you to believe that Narconon may help him, may help Kyle?
Objection form.
Actually, don't recall.
Narconon is not free, correct?
Correct.
Who did you expect was going to pay for Narconon?
Cost was not something that was in my mind at the time.
Back in February '07, do you know whether or not Thomas Brennan had the ability to pay for Narconon?
I do not know.
Isn't the charge at Narconon somewhere in the neighborhood of $25,000?
I don't know. Perhaps. I don't know specifically.
If Kyle Brennan had gone to Narconon, would you have been paid a commission, an FSM commission or some other type of commission?
Absolutely not.
Well, why not?
I wasn't selecting anyone to go there. I was offering help, what I thought was an offer of help. I wasn't pushing it. It was actually meant to be a mother-to-mother offer of help.
What is a PTS Type A handling?
I don't know. I feel like I'm taking a test on the technology, and I only want to answer when I'm absolutely certain.
You took the PTS-SP course, correct?
That's correct.
What year did you complete that?
In 2003.
Okay. Did you learn in that course PTS Type A handling?
Yes, well, just don't quote me on this. If you are connected to someone who is actively antagonistic to spiritual betterment and treatment, you are like someone who is known to be that, then it is you either handle or disconnect. You either handle that person so they're no longer antagonistic, or then, but that is the person's choice. It's not, you know what I mean? Like
If a Scientologist in good standing, all right,
Yeah.
on course, taking courses, is connected to a
drug pusher,
drug pusher,
absolutely disconnect.
suppressive person, someone that's bringing down the Scientologist member. I'm asking her for her understanding.
Someone who is suppressive to them, again, there is a way. I guess I want you to ask me exactly what you want to know.
All right.
Because there are many ways I can answer this, and I just want to give you the answer to the exact question.
Hypothetical. Hypothetical. If a member in good standing, who's a Scientologist in good standing, taking courses, is somehow connected to a drug pusher.
Right.
All right. Does that Scientology member have a duty under the policies of the church to report that to ethics?
No.
Wait. Object to the...
If a Scientologist is connected to a drug pusher, does that Scientologist, under the policies of the church, have a duty to report to an ethics officer?
Object to the form of the question. False or speculation lacks foundation.
I actually don't know how to answer it. Like, I guess that's so far-fetched. If someone's connected to a drug pusher, do they have to go and tell them? No, they do not.
They don't have to do a knowledge report.
No. Well, here's an example. Someone runs an apartment building, and one of the people in there is a drug pusher, and he finds out, and he gets rid of the guy. No, that's his private life, so to speak. So no, why would that? He handled the situation and got rid of it.
And what if he doesn't get rid of the situation?
Well,
Same objection.
yeah, I don't know.
During the student sessions with Tom Brennan, did he ever talk about his son Kyle?
Objection.
I need to object on behalf of Tom Brennan, who has been established in this case to be a parishioner of the Church of Scientology. In that regard, he has a variety of rights under federal and state law concerning the confidentiality of any communications he may have provided or made for purposes of his personal spiritual counsel. So in that regard, I would assert his privileges and ask, as a practitioner of Scientology, not to disclose the content of any communications, and I will assure you under the law that you have that very right, and you're able to assert it on behalf of a fellow parishioner.
Okay.
Will you answer the question?
No.
I will compel the answer.
There's been an assertion of religious privilege.
I'm still...
The court reporter, please swear in the witness.
Sir, if you raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Good morning, my name is Ken Dandar. I represent the state of Kyle Brennan. Can you tell me, did you ever have your deposition taken before?
No.
Okay, in a deposition, I want you to know, it's just like being in front of a judge and a jury in a courtroom. You're under oath. You're subject to the same penalties and sanctions if you fail to tell the truth. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. If I ask you a question, however, and you don't understand the question, you are allowed to ask me to repeat or rephrase the question until you understand it. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So if you answer a question, we will presume that you understood the question. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. So, tell me, what is your full legal name?
Thomas Miles Brennan.
Was there any point in time where you found out that he had seen and was treated by a psychiatrist?
Well, Victoria had called. I was in communication with Victoria, and she called me and she said, make sure that he takes his medication. And I go, what's that? And she goes, Lexapro. But I didn't remember the name of it then. I do now because of this case. But I go, what's that? And she goes, it's, he's been going to see a psychologist, and the psychologist, gave him this medication, and it's for, depression or whatever like that. And I go, okay,
Okay. And when Victoria told you that he was seeing a psychiatrist, you knew that Scientology has, to put it mildly, great negative opinions about psychiatry.
That's right.
This was Rick Alvers. I objected to that question.
Okay.
You may not have heard it, Madam Court Reporter.
Okay.
What is your understanding of what Scientology thinks or states about psychiatry?
I believe that they're not in accord with the tenets of psychiatry. They don't believe in electroshocking people or giving them excessive medication, psychotropic drugs, things like that, in excess.
How many days later after you put the medicine in the trunk of your BMW did Kyle die?
I'm not sure. A couple days, 3 days, something like that.
Did you talk to anyone about Kyle's medication after you learned about it on the computer at the library?
Yes.
Who did you talk to?
I talked to Denise Gentile about it.
And why would you talk to her about it?
Tom, let me just ask a few preliminary questions because this is an area for which I don't have any insight, and it may involve religious counsel, spiritual counsel. You have privileges under the law. I know that I share those privileges with you. There are various sources, including Florida law and federal law, not to necessarily restate those now at this point and to do so unnecessarily. I do want to let you know, though, if you've had communications in the past through which you were seeking personal spiritual counsel, whether they be with Ms. Gentile or any other person affiliated with the church, I would remind you of those privileges and to pause before sharing them so that I may, in fact, make the formal objection. Not to suggest that in response to Mr. Danner's current question, those are those types of communications, but at least I wanted to give you fair warning of your rights under both federal and state law.
Okay.
So after you went to the library, when did you call Denise Gentile?
I didn't call her. I just, I was doing a job for her. And she was asking me, like, how's your son doing, blah, 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 we're just casual conversation. And I mentioned to her that, I believe that I was talking, she's my friend, right? So I talk about, a lot of things before her. She was asking me about how Kyle was doing. I said, he was on this thing that's called Lexapro. And now that, whatever, I was just talking, like, in casual conversation about it.
When you learned that Kyle had been treated by a psychiatrist and was on Lexapro from your ex-wife Victoria, did she call you and that's when this conversation happened, or did you call her?
I don't know. We were going back and forth. I called her, she called me. I don't remember how the thing is, who called first, but I do remember her mentioning that.
Did you ever tell her that after you researched the Lexapro that you didn't give the medicine back to Kyle?
No.
Did you ever have a conversation with her where she told you to make sure Kyle had his Lexapro and was taking it?
Yeah, she said something like that. She said, make sure Kyle's taking his Lexapro.
Was that in the same conversation?
Yeah, I believe so.
So you decided not to follow her request, is that right?
You're right.
And you talked to Denise Gentile about your son's psychiatric medication because she was your friend?
Yeah.
You didn't think your son taking psychiatric medication was a very private matter for him?
Objection 4.
No. He stayed with me, we're trying to work out something, and also the thing came up with, like, he needs help, right? What should we do? Should he go someplace in Virginia, or there's other places that could help him? And one of the places that came up was about Narconon. And there was some place in California, some place in Arizona, and since we're Scientologists, we knew about Narconon and that it, in fact, may be able to help him. Maybe, I don't know. And it was like a suggestion.
And who first suggested Narconon?
I think I did. I think I said, like, well, maybe Narconon, something like that could help him. I mean, because I know that they deal with, people like Kyle, but I think it's done on a voluntary basis. Like, if they want to go there, it's not like something that, it's like Scientology, like, person only gets involved in it if they want to, not because somebody's making them or enforcing them or, having them to go out in their own free will. So that's why, like, it was like a suggestion, like maybe that Kyle would like that, or he might be able to do it, or whatever,
Did Denise Gentile talk to Victoria during that same telephone conversation?
Yeah, I put her on, I gave the phone, I go, let me have you talk to this friend of mine named Denise, she can tell you a little bit more about it. 'Cause she knew more about it than I did anyway, so I thought maybe Denise would talk to her, and maybe she'd like, oh, it does blah-de-blah, or whatever, Just as like a thing,
What did you hear Denise say to Victoria?
I don't know exactly, but something to the nature of like, maybe this is something that could help your son or whatever, And she said she would like to look into it. So
Who said that she wanted to look into it?
Victoria said she would look into it, and she did. She went online or something and checked it out.
Did Denise tell Victoria that Narconon would be good for Kyle because of the drugs that he's on?
No, I don't think so. I think it was more like to help him get back on track, get more rest and relaxation, get healthier, get more focused. That kind of, just kind of get it back on. He was off track. He was off balance. He needed some place to kind of chill out or relax at, or get it together at. So that was one of the suggestions.
And did Denise tell you what Victoria's reaction was to the suggestion?
Yeah, she said that she was kind of yeah about it. She wasn't overly enthusiastic about the idea, probably because it was affiliated with Scientology. Because Victoria wasn't very enthusiastic about anything that was affiliated with Scientology anyways.